Hello, welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Chat About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you to everyone who has joined me already. We've had episode 6 and 7 of the Acolyte drop, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is the shortest review I've ever made. Please remember that it is okay to like something and to not like something. We can all have different tastes, and that's absolutely fine. It doesn't mean there's any review bombing going on from everyday people. It doesn't mean that at all. The best way to describe episode 6 was sexy man, eye candy, chit chat, and wearing a Sith helmet. It was extremely difficult to find many positives to say about this episode that really, to be honest with you, needed to focus on action rather than natter natter. The only believable bit was the dispatch of the rescue team. The best bit was the slicing in half of the giant bug. I wish we had more of that because then at least we would have actually got some action. And I had the distinct impression that this entire episode was just a filler to see a man with his shirt off. That is one of the thing about the entire series, and that's the fact that it's mostly filler. It can easily be consolidated down. So, of course, the main focus was Quimir taking his clothes off to get clean. And then talk about the sexualization of a man. If that had been a woman doing that, then they would be screaming from the rooftops about sexualization of the women. So the chit chat padded out the episode and left us with Osha possibly turning evil and learning to use the Force, and May being caught by Sol, and Osha putting on the Sith helmet at the end with some heavy Darth Vader breathing. And that would have been my entire review of episode 6, and that's why I waited for episode 7. And episode 7 was essentially what I had said in my first review. Jedi bad. Everything, well, almost everything that happened in this episode should have actually happened at the very beginning of the Acolyte. The only reveal that makes sense to have at this point of the Acolyte was not revealing how Mama Witch had died. To be frank, in this whole entire series, Sol, played by Lee Jung-jae, is probably the most interesting character, with his motives, I mean. Between him and Thorbin, they certainly gave the best performances, acting-wise, of the entire series too. Now, all of the action that we get in this episode should have definitely been back at the beginning. Like I said, episodes 1, 3, and 7 should have been consolidated down into the first episodes. Episode 2 and 4 could have been consolidated into one episode as well. Episode 5 and the majority of episode 6 should have been consolidated too, thus turning the 7 parts into 3. It could have cut out a lot of the filler and we would have had more action and a much more concise plot, which is what this series of the Acolyte really lacks. So we finally learn in an all over the place plot that the Jedi's purpose was to find the Virgins on Brendok. Their purpose was not to take the twins originally. It's rather plainly explained that the Virgins is found in one area, in this case it's Brendok. Now, because of where this episode is placed, we get a lot of regurgitated scenes that were not actually needed. The best bit, though, was probably the mind possession of Thorbin. This had a very Lord of the Rings feel to it, except Peter Jackson actually did it better. However, that should have been shown at the beginning as well in order to show how powerful these space witches truly are. If the Force is now truly female, you have to show it. Now, another thing I want to address is the fact that the girls have a blood test because of the Virgins and they're testing to become a Jedi. When the blood sample test comes through, Thorbin says they are identical twins. Now, they establish between the three of them that they are one being that has been split into two. So, my question is, if they are identical twins, then why are the children so easy to tell apart? And, you know, they tried to keep this facade of identical twins going by making sure that Amandla is actually playing both of them. And I'm pretty sure that Leslie said she had auditioned identical twins who are really difficult to tell apart. The huge Jedi fight was fine in general, although it ended up with a bit of a lame duck when Indara severed the minds and offed an entire group of mind-possessing witches. How is that possible? How is she more stronger than all of those witches put together? Wait, the force is truly female, and the men were too weak to stop the possession. They were essentially there to get beaten up by the mind-possessing witches and each other, just for the sake of women being stronger than men. So the plot is all over the place, and so far, in my opinion, The Acolyte is poorly written. The idea of Jedi, bad, not good, is something that I, as a paying customer, I don't want it. I believe that it's something that undermines what the Jedi originally were, and that's what I think. What do you think? I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for TikToks. Leave a comment below. Chat about it. Don't shout about it. Like the video if you would like to like the video. Hit the sub if you would also like to join me here for more videos. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.